Hi everybody! Welcome to another stream. How are we all doing? Welcome to part 2 of us reading Peter's sci-fi novel. I'm so excited that some of you showed up, even though you spent 3 hours reading part 1 with me and it was so bad. Exciting though. Exciting that we get to read part 2, so thanks for showing up. Let's see what we got in the chat. Briar Rose 1984, thank you for 20 months, says, woohoo, 20 months, seems like yesterday. Let's see some Healbot art. The art, by the way, that's on this page, I should say, which I'm probably going to put some up just for visuals anyway. The art of the drones, this was done by Peter's wife. So thank you, Peter's wife, for publicly posting the art you did of your husband's bad sci-fi novel. She's actually very talented. She is. I wonder why she's with Peter. Anyway, I'm being overly mean. I'm being so overly mean about this. I redact all of that. I have nothing against her, and I wish her the best. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, I thought I fever dreamed part 1. And that catches us up. Speaking of which, guys, what if, through this, it was accidentally discovered that Peter had an even older channel than we were ever aware of that had videos from all the way back in 2015? What if that happened, and now we had videos of Peter from before the QAnon stuff happened? Wouldn't that be weird if that's what this was? If we had videos from Peter from 2015 that were publicly available and that I now have access to? Anyway. The entrance. You're not ready for the entrance, folks.
Hi, my name is Peter Hanna, and
We did it! We got 2015 Peter. Oh! Alright. I'm
the author of Cannabis Paradise Cognitive Dissonance. And I have some great news for you. Big Pharma is going extinct. Now, if you
hold on, let me turn this up. It's a little quiet.
looked at the pharmaceutical industry recently, you would have seen that it's been growing year after year. In fact, last year, pharmaceutical sales reached...
Yeah, guys, don't body shame people. Holy fucking shit. I thought I've taught you better than that. Let's not do that.
$1 trillion. But I believe that this growth is coming to a halt and will even start to decline soon because of cannabis oil. I've been a cannabis activist for 6 years, and I've learned that cannabis oil can replace most, if not all, of pharmaceuticals. All we need to do now is educate people about the different medical properties of cannabis. Luckily, there have been excellent cannabis activists like Jack Hare and Rick Simpson who have educated people about cannabis. Now, the pharmaceutical industry has been corrupted by the profit incentive, and they focus on treating the symptoms of health problems instead of actually curing the health problems, because that's what's profitable. They've also spent billions of dollars to keep medical cannabis illegal. If you're wondering why cannabis oil can replace most pharmaceuticals and why the pharmaceutical industry is spending billions of dollars to keep it illegal, well, look at all these different effects.
This is the same exact list, I think, from the novel that we're reading that was in chapter 1. It was like the first paragraph. He must have just copy-pasted this from somewhere.
Many scientists from all over the world have been doing hundreds of scientific studies.
Hundreds of them.
Hundreds of different medical chemical compounds in cannabis. And they've discovered cannabis has all of these different effects.
Look, if labs do tests on compounds that are in cannabis and do actually find they have medical purposes, which I'm sure they do, there are absolutely reasons that you could do weed medically, right? It can reduce anxiety for some people. It can stimulate appetite if you're like a cancer patient and you need that. Like, there are reasons that you might take compounds that are in cannabis for medical reasons. But Peter, just saying you think it's a panacea and that it cures everything is just patently false. Bittergrin says, so you downloaded this whole channel so it can't be lost to time, right? I didn't yet. Here's a link.
So that is why I've decided to dedicate my entire life to bankrupting Big Pharma. And I'll do this by...
Instead, he accidentally backfired and he bankrupted his whole family. Whoops.
Increasing people's access to medical cannabis. And my plan to do this is separated into 3 different parts. For example, the first part is to educate people about medical cannabis. The second part is to foster cooperation. And the third part is to put pressure on the government to subsidize cannabis oil. Because we all deserve...
Where's my government weed? Peter, this is from 2015. Trump had 4 years for this shit, Peter. Where's my government subsidized drugs?
...to be healthy. And if the government doesn't want to do this, then I want to create a system that does. My book called Cannabis, The Key to Becoming Nigh Immortal, is a medical...
He has multiple books, by the way.
...cannabis textbook.
By the way, I've enjoyed this Peter reading so much, I'm thinking about us doing maybe like Ben Shapiro's fiction novels. I'm not as interested in looking at like non-fiction stuff from people like Ben Shapiro, but I do find it interesting to look at fiction written by delusional people. I think it gives an unintentional insight into the workings of their mind, so that's pretty fun.
That
Hannah Book Club. Yeah.
Shows all the different effects of cannabis, and it also shows from which compounds are these effects coming from. It also touches upon cannabis as an excellent tool for life extension. I'll use this tool to educate people, and also my novel, Cannabis Paradise Cognitive Dissonance. This novel teaches people about the medical properties of cannabis, and also the benefits of a cooperative society, and it also provides a blueprint for a society.
It's so weird listening to Peter talk prior to Trump. Talking about, like, profit motive being anathema to medicine. We need to cooperate and have a cooperative society, and the government should subsidize, like, medicines for people. And then he became a Trump supporter. Kind of weird. First name bunch of numbers says, actually, everything Ben Shapiro writes is fiction.
That uses cannabis to its fullest potential. By buying my books, you're finding someone that wants to educate people and someone that wants to become a full-time cannabis activist to help people. If you want to do that and you want to support me, I would really appreciate it. And I would like to thank my wife, who supported me through this entire time, and Rick Simpson for having a positive influence on me. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.
Do you guys want to see a video of Peter's wife? We don't have to. There's one on here. So, do I think if I talked to him this early you could have gotten through to him? Probably not. No. Is it sad? No, it's just a normal video. We've just never seen Peter's wife before. I have. I watched this video already. It's just a normal video. Just in case you're wondering what Peter's wife's vibe is. Because that's an interesting piece of Peter history that we haven't gotten. I have nothing against this woman. Let me be clear. I have absolutely nothing against Peter's wife. I feel for Peter's wife. She would probably find me even saying that condescending, because I'm sure she does love Peter and loves their children. I gotta imagine it's frustrating, though.
Hi everybody, my name is Nari Hanna, and I'm the wife of Peter Hanna, who wrote 2 cannabis novels. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that Peter and I talk about a lot, which is the stereotype, the image of cannabis users.
I don't necessarily disagree with what she says in this video either, by the way. Just interesting seeing Peter's wife.
So there are a lot of people with serious health issues. Epilepsy, cancer, many different things, who could seriously benefit.
Reminder that Peter is in a cult that does arranged marriages, though. Just for reference.
From the medical effects of cannabis. They're blocked from it. And to be honest, it's a lot of times because of the image. The stereotype of stoners is lazy, dumb, crazy, flamboyant, kind of out there, and a lot of
Right? I was all of those things long before I ever did weed.
them people who need the health benefits, people who have loved ones who could benefit from the cannabis medicine.
Right, she seems normal. She seems like a perfectly normal person I could, like, hang out with, go to lunch with, and, like, talk about whatever with. She seems completely normal. I do not know how she deals with Peter's crazy, crazy bullshit.
Effects stop them from using it because they're afraid of becoming like that or afraid of that kind of stereotype. And honestly, that's not good. That's a huge problem for the medical cannabis industry, for the medical cannabis field, for people who could truly benefit from it. That it's just completely awful how such something that could help people so much is being stopped from by something that's actually pretty trivial. We don't want to perpetuate that. We don't want to perpetuate lazy, dumb, crazy, flamboyant.
Alright, that's enough of Peter's wife. We get it. I just thought it was interesting. This is a channel I have access to. I don't think there's anything that interesting on here, and I don't really think we'll watch more videos from this. I'll save it just in case, but I can't imagine we'll be using this for anything. Just thought it was interesting to see where Peter was prior to the whole Trump thing. Wow, it just started raining very suddenly here. Oh, one more thing before we get to reading Chapter 2. Also, the website doesn't exist anymore, but good news, the Wayback Machine exists. And the Wayback Machine cataloged the website for this. This was a website Peter put together for the book. Well, not just the book. Let me read you something from the page. Why are Healbots important? When I was 9 years old, I saw a cartoon called Metabots. That cartoon changed my life forever. It was a cartoon that took place in the future, and it had fighting robots. It was about a future where fighting robots were affordable toys that people used to fight other people's toy robots at school. Metabots. Metabots. I gotta see if that's a thing. Oh, it's an anime! Guys, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm pretty sure it's always anime's fault. And you know what's even worse about this being anime's fault? Is I'm pretty sure I watched this when I was a kid. It looks very familiar. Peter and I are pretty close in age, so that tracks. Anyway, it was about a future where fighting robots were affordable toys that people used to fight each other's robots at school. What a thrill that show brought me. I could imagine a world where extremely advanced robots were so affordable that they could be bought as a toy. I imagine owning my own robots one day. That was an incredible feeling. That show inspired me to draw. I would design robots in my math notebook at school. It was so much fun exploring my mind and creating different robots. Almost every single robot I drew had weapons all over it. These were bazookas, handguns, grenade launchers, coming out of my robots' toes to their feet. I loved drawing these robots because I thought I could design a more powerful fighting robot than Metabee. Metabee was the main fighting robot in Metabots. I don't think this page has been saved. If it was, that'd be nice, though. Yeah, the 404 for the full page unfortunately wasn't saved. But oh, and even the funniest thing, DJ Shea says, Metabots, 22nd century. The best thing about this, Peter didn't just see this as a book. Peter unironically wanted to build these weed drones that we read about in the book. Peter wanted to raise money for these, and he was accepting money, it looks like, because there are links that say, what is Healbots.com? There's been enough money going into killer robot projects, it's about time that money starts going into the opposite of killer robots, Creabots or Healbots. Here's my contact information, and I'm now accepting funding to create the world's first healing robots. Healbots. Peter was trying to solicit money to build Sci-Fi AI weed drones. So that's not great. Alright. I think we got all the stuff out of the way that we need to. We can probably get into chapter 2 finally. Let's do it. I guess I should give a brief synopsis of the first chapter if you weren't here for part 1. In the first chapter, our main character, whose name I forget, because who cares, lives in some sort of near-future sci-fi world. Next Sunday AD, if you will, you know? Miro was the name of the main character. Thank you. Miro has a brother who is sick in the hospital dying from cancer. Miro believes that the hospital is killing his brother by giving him chemotherapy and, you know, typical cancer treatments. He believes the only real medicine in the world that actually has the power to cure not only anything, but actually can cure everything, is marijuana. Miro, luckily, has the resources to do this and build robots that shoot weed at people because he has been kidnapped by the government, essentially, and forced to build deadly killer robots for them. But he Iron Manned them, and instead of building killer robots, he built weed robots. Robots that shoot weed at people and it cures their diseases. So, I guess let's get into it. There's 2 main robots that he has. I don't know, I just remembered one of them's name. I forget the one's name, and then the second robot's name is Unconditional Lover. So if you keep hearing me say Unconditional Lover, that's a robot. Okay, let's get into the book. Oh, he's been going around and superheroing. He's been doing vigilante justice with his weed robots, and he knocked out a bunch of the police by injecting them with THC against their will. Which is kind of based. Medico, thank you. Medico and Unconditional Lover, the 2 robots. Chapter 2. Cannabidiol. I've never been good at saying that word. Someone tell me how to pronounce it. Cannabidiol? Cannabidiol. Anyone? No? Okay. How powerful is cannabis's medical power? CBD, analgesic, anti-inflammatory, appetite stimulant, antipsychotic, for a second I thought it was going to say anti-Semitic, anti-epileptic. You get it. It's the same list of things. If it's not the same list of things, same idea. A bunch of things he thinks it can cure. I kept asking Medico to please combine with me to create a better AI. It always refused. I didn't understand why it could be so lacking in intelligence. Isn't it an artificial intelligence, I thought? It always said the same thing. I can't do it because my creator told me to. That logic is not smart at all, I thought. At the very least, Medico let me work with it to improve our healing powers. Radiology with 100 bits says, "Hi Hannah, the counter-protest turned out well. Spent an hour waving a trans flag in neo-Nazi faces whilst telling them they're Nazis. This upset them. They had some annoying twerp live streaming who kept asking me to define what a Nazi was. I said he should look at a mirror. This made him upset. This is the same guy earlier on in the day." Oh god.
Guys, just so you're
Watch this real quick.
all aware, you're all taking part in the manufactured culture war. Hail Hitler. Guys, just so you're...
Oh, he said Hail Hitler. Fucking lovely. God damn. I'm real sick of Nazis. Yes, this was self-published. I think you can find it on Amazon if you have a Kindle. It's not available in print, but you can get digital versions. How can I become a better healer, I asked. I asked that to myself a lot. The answer was to improve my healing powers. Unconditional Lover helped me design a new mechanism. Okay, I don't like this. See, this is what I'm saying. It keeps shifting narrators. I talked about this in chapter 1. The narration is shifting between Medico and Unconditional Lover, and it's always jarring when it happens. I kept asking... Nope. How can I become a better healer? I asked that to myself a lot. The answer was to improve my healing powers. Unconditional Lover helped me design a new mechanism in the drones. We changed the delivery system so that they can make any combination of medical compounds and put those medicines in a disposable plastic tube. We did that because the more we can be specific about which medical compounds we get into people, the more we can target the health problem that we are trying to solve. When we finished building the system, I told Miro about it so that he could be proud of us. I added more upgrades to the Healbots. Before I had pre-formulated cannabis oil plastic tubes in the drones, but now I can create individually concocted combinations of medical compounds and put it in plastic tubes to best treat different ailments on different people, right on the spot. It just takes a couple of seconds. This is the future of healing, Medico informed Miro. Does that mean the red beds run on weed? Peter still thinks people need surgeries and stuff sometimes, so I imagine he just thinks med beds fix that. That will come in handy for today. We're headed to a hospital today, right? Miro asked. Are you ready to go? Medico asked back. Ready and excited to heal, Miro replied. My healing powers are incredible now. With your help, I'll be able to heal better than anyone else on Earth. Now that I think about it, I am the most powerful healer ever. Miro hadn't felt this happy in many years. It felt terrific to be powerful, and this was a healing power that he had, which was a rarity for the time. Remember yesterday for Tinfoil Tuesday when we read the article about the paper that was being published in the Journal of Psychiatric Opinion? And it was an article about how one of the leading indicators on whether or not people are going to fall into believing conspiracy theories is whether or not they're narcissistic. Now, this is just me armchair pointing something out, but if you gain the power to help people, and your thought isn't just, oh, this is great, I should get this into as many hands as possible. Your thought is, I'm so powerful. My powers are incredible. I felt terrific to be this powerful. Probably not great in terms of things that says about your personality, but okay. They headed towards one of the biggest hospitals in the area. As they arrived, he felt a cold-hearted feeling emanating from the building. It was a long, rectangular gray building with small, square windows and a big sign on the top that read, Hospital, in big red letters. He felt like Slaughterhouse would have been a more accurate name. There was no grass or trees for as far as the eye could see. The bland cement parking lot, in combination with the black metal branches that lined the entrance, made him feel uncomfortable being there. Metal benches, sorry. I get the feeling that Peter is just afraid of hospitals, which is not an uncommon fear. A lot of people are afraid of hospitals for one reason or another, but he doesn't know how to contextualize that feeling and recognize it and separate it from rationality. So instead he's just decided, well, hospitals make me uncomfortable, so they must be evil and ineffective. He goes by his gut instinct as opposed to, thinking it through. Rageology says, don't know if it's useful for Chudwatch, but here's a link to their YouTube channel and the wiki page for Patriotic Alternative. It has a link to their webpage, which in turn has links to all their dumb right-wing social media accounts. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Saving under Chuds. Cool. The hospital entrance was two large glass automatic doors framed by polished steel that screamed to get your attention so that they could suck you into their profit-prioritized medical traps. Peter understands that America's one of the few countries with, modernized hospitals that charges, right? Like, the profit motive in healthcare is something that is largely an American problem, less so than a global problem, because other countries have deals where they can collectively bargain for drug prices and treatment prices because it's the government doing so. Whatever. Auntie Pretzel says, Peter has a lot of problems with his mind. I do wish he would seek actual help that isn't, you know, the wise words of Snoop Dogg. Smoke weed every day. He didn't want to see the inside where he knew he would find heavily malprogrammed doctors who had studied the most profitable ways to fix health problems by their big pharma-controlled medical schools. It creeped him out to even think about how brainwashed into idiocy the employees there are. Jake Thonis, thanks for 50 bits. To be clear, every doctor I've ever met who I've talked to about this hates insurance and private insurance just as much as you do. My friend Randy, for instance, is a doctor, fucking hates insurance companies because they suck ass and often prevent doctors from doing their job. Peter, doctors don't get commissions for what they treat you for. Doctors make a salary. They do not get paid based on what they do to you, right? Hospitals, in many cases in the United States, unfortunately, are for-profit endeavors. It's not enriching the doctors to exorbitantly extort you. It's enriching shareholders and CEOs, not the doctors. Hydrate. Will do. Part of the Inflation Reduction Act was allowing Medicare to negotiate prices on some meds, so that's nice. I agree. I don't like Biden, but credit where credit is due. While there's a lot of compromise and it's not fully what I would have wanted, I'm still glad some movement is done on that and some other issues that were involved in the bill. So that's good. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Good for that bill. Would like more, but hey, that's why we keep going, you know? We're never done. A man with an injured leg walked towards the hospital with the help of his two friends who supported him on each side. Smile big, unconditional lover replied. Miro put his biggest smile on and walked towards them with a fleet of 5 Healbots flying into the air alongside him. Excuse me, hi. My name is Miro. I understand that you are in a hurry, but I'm a great healer, and I was wondering what happened to your leg. To be clear, Peter also calls himself a healer. Peter called himself Peter the Healer when he started on YouTube. So this is a self-insert character. Fun fact. He got bit by a poisonous snake. Does Peter think that snake bites can be cured by smoking weed? I hope Peter doesn't like camping. Oh my god. He was taking a hike in the mountains when he stepped on a rattlesnake. I can't talk about it right now. This is an emergency. I have to go. Move out of the way. I have to hurry. Sorry, his friend said as they continued walking towards the hospital doors. Miro looked at Medico. Medico rapidly handed a tube of medical cannabis oil to the man with the snake bite. Go to the hospital and take their snake antidote. Morok, thanks for 17 months. Reminder, Peter did not write this when he was like 10 years old. A full-grown man wrote the sentence, go to the hospital and take their snake antidote. Anti-venom, Peter. They have anti-venom. And then tell them you want to take your herbal medicines instead of any pharmaceuticals. Then eat half a gram of this oil every 12 hours for a week. Then eat half a gram of this oil every 12 hours for a week. Whoops. Ideally, you should rub 1/10 of a gram over the bite as well. Doing these steps will accelerate his healing by reducing inflammation, and it will also reduce scarring, Medico exclaimed. At least he wants people to go and take... Peter wants people to take the snake antidote, and I respect that, okay? At least he didn't just, like, try and shove a joint directly into his snake bite wounds. Because there was a good 50-50 chance he was gonna. Why should we trust you, the man with the bite asked. I am the world's most powerful healer. That's why, Mira replied with confidence. Okay, well, thank you for the medicine. I guess this is medical cannabis oil. I agree that this should help, the man with the snakebite replied. Then they entered the hospital. No one talks like this. Thank you for the medicine. I guess this is medical cannabis oil. I agree that this should help. Lily Lovestuff says, my ex-boyfriend lost his legs due to a snakebite on vacation in Costa Rica. If only he had weed, maybe his leg could have been saved. Sorry I missed your bits. With 100 bits says, can I please petition for unconditional lover to have an inexplicably sultry voice? Okay. Alright. We could do that. When I can see it's... there's times where it's gonna say something I'm not gonna realize it's that character, but I'll do my best. What was the reasoning for that? Miro asked. He needed the antidote, but not the pharmaceutical drugs. Some whole-body healing through homeostasis is what the medical cannabis oil is for, and if you combine that with the antidote, he will heal in no time, Medico explained. Here comes the next one. Oh god. A Mexican mom! Some writers spend, a little too much time explaining characters when they enter a scene, I don't need to get to it. Peter knows how to get us there. He says, what's this character? Mexican mom. She's a Mexican mom. That's what you need to know about this character. Your mind will fill in the rest. Okay. A Mexican mom walked towards the hospital with a young girl who looked pale and sick. Mira walked up to them. Excuse me. Hi. My name is Miro. I understand that you are in a hurry, but I am a great healer, and I wondered what your daughter here is suffering from. She has the flu. Oh, come on. Okay, I got it. It says do it in a Spanish accent. I can't do a Spanish accent. She has the flu. So we goes get flu shot, the mother replied in a Spanish accent. Alright, okay, there's a lot wrong with this. Okay, first of all, I feel like this is a fucking racist caricature. I'm not super comfy with that. Second of all, you don't get a flu shot if you already have the flu. The flu shot is a vaccine that you take preventatively before you get the flu. Guys, I can't do accents. I can't do them. Don't blame me. What's she getting? Miro asked Medico. Linalool, geraninol, limonene, alpha-pinene, quercetin, dihydrovomifolial, p-cymenine to fight the virus because they are all antivirals. She is also getting some cannabidiol, THC, fucking lists a bunch of stuff, for her nausea. These are all excellent antiemetics, Medico finished saying as he handed the mother a long plastic tube with an oily substance inside. You don't need a flu shot when you get the flu. You need antivirals. Antiemetics and healthy diet. Give her a gram of this every 12 hours and improve her diet. Great. So he's gonna give the kid weed instead of actual help. Great. What about flu shot? The mother asked. It's written in broken English intentionally. I'm uncomfy with that. What about flu shot? The mother asked. Trust me and my healer robot. We're the best healers in the world, Miro said with tremendous confidence. Okay, thank you, sir, she said, and they walked back to the car with her daughter. Her daughter, who was so ill with the flu that she was bringing her to the hospital, left because Peter... This man has children. Yes, this man has children. Just for the reference, he has 3 kids. One of them's a goddamn baby or toddler now, depending on, like, the age. I don't remember when the birth happened. Here's the next one. Medico gave Miro a heads up again. A man and woman walked towards them with a girl that was wearing a helmet. Please, Peter, don't do this. Peter, don't. Guys, to be clear, I have not read this. I'm reading this along with you guys. So I have no idea where this is going, and I am so sorry if this goes to the place I think it's gonna go. I am so sorry. I did not write this book. I'm so sorry. The littlest little leafy, thanks for 17 months, says, 1 month till our second sub-baby. Shall we christen it with a cloud of medical marijuana to ensure it a long, healthy life? Sounds good to me. Lily Lovestuff says, do you think Peter's wife is pissed that he's the one who was picked for him but he's the one who was picked for her by the church? Yes. Okay, here we go. Do you guys want to get a GoFundMe together? So maybe a Kickstarter and we'll make this a movie? We're gonna option Peter's book for a movie? A man and woman walked towards them with a girl that was wearing a helmet. The girl's parents looked scared and worried. What are you going to the hospital for? Miro asked. My name is Miro. By the way, I want to see if I can heal you free of charge. The father spoke to Miro. I heard about you on TV. I heard about you on TV. I don't want your THC medicine. We're here to fix our daughter's epilepsy with brain surgery. What you may not have heard is that I am the greatest healer on the planet. I can stop her seizures without using any THC. Just as Miro finished his speaking, the girl erupted into a violent epileptic fit. Watch. I can stop her seizures in under 5 seconds. I won't charge. Trust me. He spoke with more confidence and a sense of urgency. The father signaled the okay, and Medico immediately intravenously delivered medicine to her. In just a couple of seconds, she had stopped seizing, but she was completely passed out. Her parents were shocked. What did you give her? Her mom asked. I gave her a combination of cannabis stuff he copy-pasted. Medico replied. What were you planning on doing at the hospital for her epilepsy? He said no THC and then he gave her THC. Yes. So he just lied and gave the daughter THC. Netzirk1987, thanks for 19 months, says, I literally just got here a minute ago and I hate this already. Cute top, though. I know, look. Look at this. I like off-the-shoulder things. I think they're cute. I don't know if I'm too old to wear them. I don't care, though. I didn't get to wear them when I'm younger, so whatever. If I gave a shit what people thought when I was out. Anyway, it is cute, though. Look at that. Anyway. Her father gulped. Horrible surgeries. They wanted to take... Bardlock Moses, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. They wanted to charge me millions of dollars to perform surgeries like resective surgery on her where they cut a golf ball-sized piece of her brain out. If it doesn't work, they said we should allow them to do a hemispherectomy, which is when they cut off the outer layer of one side of her brain. They believe that if it doesn't work, that it would be dumb if we didn't try a corpus colostomy. That's cutting her brain in half. If you can prove to me that your medicine is better, we'll do it your way. I only have doubts because all the pharmaceutical epilepsy medicine they sold us so far has just made things worse instead of helping the situation. And I can't imagine you would do better than trained doctors. 7% to level 3 on the hype train. Can I share a link to Peter's channel? Sure. One sec. What does he call his channel? Peter's Political Perspective. He doesn't post here really anymore, but this is where all his old videos are. He's been posting on, what's the name of it? It's not BitChute, it's the other one. Bittergrin with 100 bits says bits for the voice. Rumble. He's been posting on Rumble. Barbarians, Nero uttered under his breath while trying to contain his anger. Those doctors don't care about your child. They only care about profit. Just as he finished his sentence, the girl awoke. She saw the needles in her arm and freaked out. Needles! Needles! She cried in fear. Medico immediately removed the thin needles from her arms. She doesn't seem to like needles. I can give her oral medicine to take, but it is not as immediate as intravenous delivery of anti-epileptic medicine. Oral medicine will take 15 minutes to start to work properly, but I can also deliver her medicine aerially with vapor clouds while we wait the oral medicine to work. That way, she will continue to remain seizure-free while we wait for the oral medication to kick in, Medico informed. KR Goss, thanks for 23 months, says, over 23 months, over 550k to Danzy and a bad book reading, best day. 42% to level 3 with 2 minutes left. Yeah, that sounds good. You sound very professional. Why don't you work at a hospital? They could use more doctors like you because your medicine actually works. The father said with a surprised tone of voice. Medico gave a dozen of medical cannabis oil-filled tubes to the parents. The girl's father orally delivered the medicines to his daughter with confidence. Then Medico spewed thick vapors at the girl with a long tube at the... Then Medico... I'm good. No, it's fine. There's a minute left in the hype train, 42% to level 3. Then Medico spewed thick vapors at the girl with a long tube with a hole at the end. Do you want to answer that, Miro? Heh. Hospitals don't want effective healers like me. I am not a doctor, nor am I trained under any credited medical school. I'm just passionate about healing, Miro replied. Why wouldn't the hospital want effective healers, the father said. Canadian Unicorn with 1,000 bits says, let's get to level 3. 90% with 20 seconds. Someone gifts subs. Moira Soma gifts a sub and saves the train, level 3. That's what I hear, by the way. When someone injects things into my daughter and then reveals to me, actually, I'm not a doctor, I'm just passionate about healing, my thought is usually, why wouldn't the hospital hire this fine gentleman? He got my daughter high for free! Yeah, he blew a flat, fat vape cloud in her face. It's the newest medical invention to try and get Zoomers to get checkups. In the late 1800s, the popularity of medicines were based on effectiveness and safety, and that is why medical cannabis was the most popular medicine at the time. Now medicine is based on what is most profitable, and it isn't just medicine, but most of the medical industry has been corrupted as well. My style of healing combines the most advanced robotic drone technology with cutting-edge artificial intelligence to analyze each person and their health problems so that it can produce the most effective and safe medical concoction that takes into account how different medical compounds interact with each other and that person's body. This makes healing people fast, safe, and cheap. The medical industry mostly focuses on what's slow, harmful, and expensive, so that they can milk as much money out of you as they can. No wonder the number one reason that people go bankrupt in the US is because of medical bills. I'm here to fix this system, because at its current state, it's a disaster, he explained. I had no idea, the father replied. Elminato says, quick, give this kid a few minutes in the hot box. Radiology with 150 bits, 28% to level 4. I hope you people appreciate these voices, goddammit. Most people don't, because the government is tightly controlled through lobbying to protect the medical industry's profit instead of its citizens' health, he continued explaining. Reminder, this author went on to vote for Trump and currently is still a QAnon believer that thinks Trump is secretly going to return and save the country. What you were saying makes sense, but if my daughter has a seizure soon, it'll put a hole in your argument. Doctors are professional healers, not you, the father replied back. Stick around and watch your daughter here. You'll find that with my medicine, your daughter will remain seizure-free. Why? Because my highest priority is to heal you. Their highest priority, Miro pointed at the hospital, is to take all of your money. So while they find expensive and ineffective treatments to rip people off with, I'll be here, outside the hospital, healing people for free in the most effective way possible. Heck, why don't you hang around and watch what I can do? Miro said with a confident smile. Sure, as long as my daughter remains seizure-free, you'll have my attention. I will stay and see what you have got. The father spoke with skepticism, leaking from his tone of voice. I believe your intentions are pure, but you're giving my daughter the right medicine might just be because you got lucky. That's not better. That wouldn't be better. 50% to level 4 with a minute left. Puka, thanks for 420 bits. Nice. Radiology with 100 bits says, I can't fall asleep to the bedtime story if I'm laughing this much. Canadian Unicorn says, man, I'm getting flashbacks to Trick Tracks and Bible conversations with God and Gabriel with all these voices. 40 seconds left on the hype train, 55% to level 4. Gift subs. If you can. You don't have to. I feel gross even saying that. I apologize. Medico alerted Miro to an old man that was heading to the hospital entrance as his hands trembled uncontrollably. Miro headed towards the old man. Watch this, Miro said with radiating confidence. Sir, I have good news. I'm the world's best healer. I can help you for free. My name's Miro, by the way. It's nice to meet you. Miro said as he reached his hand out to shake the old man's hand. Yay, someone did. I appreciate it. Jake Thonis, thanks for gifting a sub, and Kingdom Reborn 487, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Appreciate it. Kingdom Reborn, thank you very much. Level 4 complete. The old man stopped moving and turned to face Miro, but he didn't shake Miro's hand. What do you want? want from me? The old man grumbled defensively. I want to heal you free of charge. And if I can't heal you, I want to stop the symptoms of your health problems. I can tell from your hand trembling that you have Parkinson's disease. Is that correct? Miro asked. Yes, well, what's in it for you? He replied back, still skeptical. It makes me angry that the medical industry focuses on rip-off, useless medical practices. And so I find tremendous satisfaction in healing people for free to decrease the profit of this immoral industry. Now, if you don't mind sitting down on this bench over here, Miro pointed to the metal bench that he had been sitting on before. I will stop your tremors, and if you like that, I'll also provide you with all the medicine you need for your disease. The old man stared at Miro intently, almost as if waiting for him to declare that this was just a joke. Are you a doctor? He finally asked. Elminato, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Appreciate it. Got us to level 5. We did it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it so much. We couldn't do this if it wasn't for hype trains and stuff, so I appreciate it. I'm way better than a doctor. Now sit and let me show you. Do you mind if I deliver the medicine intravenously for you to see results faster? Miro spoke with more confidence than ever. 149% to level 5. I think the tone you read something in says a lot about it. It changes the tone of the narrative, I think. The old man hesitated one last time and then gave in. Fine. Let's see what you got, he said as he sat down on the bench and helped up his left trembling arm. Miro smiled widely as Medico flew down and connected intravenously to the old man's bloodstream through his left arm. Within seconds of connecting, the old man stopped trembling. His face turned into complete shock. The old man looked up at Miro with his jaw wide open. What did you do? Where can I get more? Can you cure me too? The old man spoke excitingly to Miro. I can't promise that I can cure you. I'm not sure if I can, but I promise you that my medicine will at least reduce your negative symptoms by 95%. There's Peter's weird propensity towards random percentages. He did that in all his YouTube videos too, where he'd make guesses about the QAnon stuff and be like, there's a 75% chance this will happen. I think Peter genuinely doesn't understand how percent chances of something happening are derived, or how percents are derived. Because remember, he was raised in a super religious cult. I don't know what kind of schooling he received, but I don't think Peter understands how percentages are calculated, basically. So I think he just thinks it's vibes. Does he just think people are making vibes into numbers, and that's where we get percentages from? And also, slow down the progression of your disease. I'll make sure that all of the medicine that you need will be delivered to your door. Just like I said before. Completely free of charge. As long as you want it. Miro spoke kindly. Do you need my address? My name? Do you need my credit card information? The old man asked. He's not a doctor! The father spoke to the old man. Exactly. I don't care about money. My reward is healing and helping people. That is my reward. My Healbots know where you live and who you are. They will get you your medicine from now on. Don't worry about paying for medicine anymore. I have your back from here on out. Miro spoke in a soothing voice. I don't understand. I don't deserve this. The old man broke into tears. Thank you. You deserve it. Everyone deserves to be healthy, no matter how rich or poor they are. Helping you has been my pleasure. Thank you for giving me a shot, Miro replied. The old man wiped tears off his face. No one has ever been this nice to me. Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? Sure, Miro said as he hugged the old man. The father watched what was happening, and Miro could tell that he was making his point about being a great healer. Miro looked back at the father as he hugged the old man and made the "See, I told you" face. The old man said goodbye and thanked Miro one last time before he headed home. After the old man had left, a smug young man got out of his car and started walking towards the hospital doors. Miro walked up to him confidently. Hi, my name is Miro. I would be happy to heal you for free. If you don't mind me asking, what did you come to the hospital for? If you ain't charging, then you ain't a real doctor. No thank you. The blonde, blue-eyed young man continued heading towards the hospital door. One sec. Just because I'm healing for free doesn't mean I'm bad at healing. Look at this fleet of healing robots. These are the only healing robots in the world. Do you think amateur healers would be using them? The blonde man looked at the drones, but was unimpressed. I have parasites in my intestines. What are your drones gonna do about that? They're gonna fly around and pray over me? You're ridiculous. We can heal you using 5 different safe anthelminic natural medicines. We want you to ingest a combination of linalool, eucalyptol, carfacrol, p-cymene, and thymol. These compounds will kill all of your parasites without damaging your body or causing any negative side effects. Medico replied. Oh, that was Medico. I didn't need to do it in that voice. Oh, well, look at you. Your drone has a mouth on it. Your drone has a mouth on it. You want the doctor? I need a serious doctor to heal me. And that's some drone guy with no expertise in healing. The young man replied as he continued heading towards the hospital doors. What type of parasite do you have? The doctor said I have clonarchitis. So whatever parasite causes, that's the one I has. Puka with 100 bits says, rinse and repeat storytelling is the best form of storytelling. We just gotta keep, you just gotta keep having people come to the door so Peter can explain, all the different things he thinks weed can do. You have the Chinese liver fluke, also known as clonarchitis sinensis. What pharmaceuticals did your doctor prescribe for that? I'm picking my meds up today. You said I'd be given Suramin and, Suramin, that is for trypanosomes, not clonarchitis sinensis. He's also having me to take biltricide, so both of those will work better than just one. Yeah, and now you will have double the negative side effects. The negative side effects of Suramin and are abdominal pain, diarrhea, vomiting, convulsions, and loss of vision, among others. Then you are going to add some biltricide. The side effects of biltricide are headaches, dizziness, seizures, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, stomach pain, and even death, to name a few. Your doctor is over prescribing you then he will give you 10 more pharmaceuticals or more to cover all the side effects of those two crazy anthelminitics. And those pharmaceuticals will all have negative side effects as well. My God, are you even aware of the side effects? It's nothing to worry about. I'm paying him $20,000 for these treatments and the pharmaceuticals for side effects. I'm sure I'm getting the very best drugs. You are playing Russian roulette with your body. You are telling me you really don't mind side effects like extreme pain, seizures, convulsions, loss of vision, and death. He's a doctor. He knows what he's doing. You don't. The blonde man barked back. Let's see here. He is giving you one for anthelamitic for the wrong parasite. He is combining two very toxic anthelaminitics, which you should never do, not to mention that he is making bank from this treatment. He is completely ripping you off while poisoning you. You really prefer that path over free treatment that is 100% safe, completely effective, and has 0 side effects. Yeah! How much money do you have in your bank account right now? Just over 20,000! Anti-Pretzel with 45 bits says, I don't think Peter understands how side effects come about or why doctors give several for certain conditions. I don't think so. It also does appear that Peter thinks doctors get commissions based on how they treat patients, which is not how that works. Cloud Wizard 42, thanks for 4 months. Jillyfish, thanks for 12 months, says, dude. Happy anniversary. Listen, brother. You are literally on the path to medical bankruptcy. When you experience all of those negative side effects and come back to the doctor, then what? You already spent all your life savings on those medicines, and now you have to go into debt to pay for more garbage medical treatments? Don't gamble away your health and money like that. I'm not gambling anything. My doctor's an expert at healing, and he cares about me. You're just a dumbass. You scam artist? Go. Take their chemicals. Dig yourself a grave. Go find out, like millions already have, that most doctors don't give a shit about you. They only care about the money. And they're playing you like a fool. Why are you so intense? Why do you even care? What is wrong with you? My brother is dying right now. Doctors are making money from poisoning him to death, and I can't do anything about that right now. Those bastards deserve to die, but instead of killing them, I am taking the more peaceful revenge. I am destroying the profit of those malicious monsters. Do you really think that medical bills would be the #1 thing that bankrupt people in this country if the medical society was good and effective at healing at a low cost? No. Medical bills are the #1 reason people go bankrupt in this country, because the people of this country have been ripped off by the medical industry for many decades. The blonde man lifted his hand to his chin and looked like he was thinking intently. All right, I'll take your medicine, but if it doesn't work, I'll hunt you down and I'll destroy you. Parasites are no joke. How did he write this? Seriously, I'm so confused. Sorry, I need some water. I'm gonna start a Fiverr where I charge people to do audiobooks. Oh yeah, he was probably high while he wrote this. I know. I know. I gotta read this. Is Hulk Hogan. I ain't joking around, brother. I am here to help, and it looks like you need it. You are about to ruin your life. Medico produced 5 4-inch tubes of medicine and handed them to the blonde man. Take half a tube every 12 hours. This will destroy the parasites and cause no damage to you whatsoever. Once you use natural medicine compounds to heal, you won't ever go back to that toxic medical industry, Medico said. Thanks, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Mr. Robot Man. No, I can't editorialize. We're here to read the book. I can't. I shouldn't add words. I want to so bad. Thanks, I hope you're right. I can intonate, but I can't add words to his work. That's not fair of me. Redacted. I know, we have to portray this accurately, especially if someone's not looking at the screen and they're just listening to this somewhere, especially later on YouTube. Hi, person who's listening to this as an audiobook later on YouTube, how you doing? It's probably going to be in its own playlist. Yeah, I don't want to put words in Peter's mouth accidentally, you know. I don't want people to think he wrote something he didn't. That wouldn't be fair. Anyway. We are right. Have a good day. Sorry for being so intense. I care a lot about stopping all this medical industry nonsense. Yeah, I get it. I appreciate it, he said and shook Miro's hand to say goodbye. The blonde man walked back to his car with the medicine. Miro saw him ingesting some medicine from the tube on the way there. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That would have been a disaster, Miro said to the father. Oh, wait, no. Thank goodness. That would have been a disaster, Miro said to the father. The father walked up to Miro with his wife and seizure-free daughter. Okay, I've seen enough. I believe you now. Will I get... Miro interrupted him. Yes. You will also get all the medicine that your daughter needs, and it will be delivered to your house for as long as she needs it, and completely free of charge. As long as you allow me to help, it'll be my pleasure to do so. Miro spoke with a caring voice. The father and mother gave Miro a big hug before they headed home. Miro was enjoying himself. He couldn't wait for the next person with a health problem so that he could help them too. Miro was having so much fun destroying the profit of the hospital by genuinely helping people. Telling people with illnesses to go away and just do weed is the ultimate good. Now that's praxis. Ugh. No. Just go to the hospital if you're sick, please. An old man who looked like he was in his 60s walked towards the hospital. He was wearing an orange worker's vest, and it looked like stress had taken a toll on his body. Hi, good sir. How are you doing today? Miro asked. Bad. Not like you care. You're playing with toys, he barked angrily. Those are the world's most advanced healing robots. Creabots. Miro smoked back with a friendly smile. Can they regenerate my dying liver? No, so leave me alone, he said grumpily and walked rapidly towards the hospital doors. Miro chased after him. They wouldn't be able to regenerate your dying liver on the spot. It would take 3 months to do that. I'm dying, kid. I'm not in the mood for rude jokes, the man yelled with fury in his voice. I would never joke about death to a dying man that just wants to live. You're about to go in there and sign up for the organ transplant list. Either you will be rejected or your liver will die before you get a transplant. You're already walking to your death. That is not a joke, but that is why I am here to save your life. By regenerating your organ free of charge with the most powerful medicine in the world. Miro spoke with incredible confidence. The man had arrived at the entrance by now and opened the hospital door, but then he closed it and walked towards Miro with curiosity written on his face. Explain, he demanded impatiently. I'm all ears, but you better not be. I am not wasting your time, Miro declared. What do you do for work? I fix roads, the man said as he tapped his foot impatiently and pointed his finger at his watch with his finger. Time's ticking and regenerating organs is impossible. Stop wasting my time. Actually, regenerating organs is possible and has been done many times before. Let me explain in a way that you can understand. Imagine that you're in a huge city with 30 million people and every single road is so badly broken that you can't run a single car there. Then, imagine that you have a team of 30 road-fixing workers working on it. How long would it take to fix every single road in the entire city? Miro asked. I don't know, 100 years or more? What does this have to do with me? He asked back. Now, imagine that you had a crew of 10 million of the best road-fixing workers in the world, working non-stop to fix roads in that city. How long would it take? Miro asked. Huh. The old white man sighed impatiently. I don't know, maybe it's 3 months tops. What's your point? He asked. The roads in that city are a symbol for your liver, and my medicine is those 10 million best road-fixing workers in the world. Medical cannabis oil contains hundreds of different extremely effective medical compounds that work together synergistically to put your body into homeostasis. And when your body's in homeostasis, it will heal. Even a dying organ can regenerate fully if your whole body is returned to maximum homeostatic levels. Miro said as Medico handed him 15 6-inch plastic tubes of medical cannabis oil. To be clear, even though I said that very charmingly, and of course, if you were a mark, I would very much have fooled you, none of that's true! None of that's true! Weed isn't gonna bring you into homeostasis? And being in homeostasis, which is just like... What's the specific definition of homeostasis? Homeostasis. Tendencies towards relative stability and equilibrium between independent elements. That wouldn't heal your fucking organ if it was damaged like that. That means nothing. I already know. Eat 2 grams of this medicine every day, and you will flood your body with many millions of medical compounds. Body workers. They will go to work fixing your liver and other areas of your body. I can guarantee with 100% certainty that your organ will return to full health. Your liver will literally regenerate back. Miro spoke confidently. And if it doesn't? The old man said. Well, it's free medicine, and after just a month you can go back to your doctor and have them examine your liver. They will let you know if it's been healing and regenerating at all. If 100% success rate isn't good enough for you, then you can go back to your donor list strategy, which will cost you a ton of money, and even if you get lucky enough that your 0.01% chance plan works and you get a liver, there's no guarantee that will work for you. Miro explained with incredible confidence. He just likes the phrase incredible confidence. Incredible confidence, incredible confidence, incredible confidence. Thesaurus. Use a thesaurus. Lily Love Stuff says, so my dad... Oh, no, that's a serious comment. I'm not going to do a voice. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was going to do a voice, but then I saw it's a serious comment. No, I'm so sorry. Lily Love Stuff says, my dad died almost 2 years ago and most of his organs were not functioning right because he refused to go to the doctor until it was too late. But you know what he was doing every day since like 1983? Smoking weed. Yeah, not gonna help your organs. I don't know if you guys know this. Smoke is bad for your body. Not good. It's okay, you would have laughed at the voice still. That makes me feel better. I've cultivated the right audience. Well, where was I? Fine, but I don't get why you would help a stranger, nor do I understand why your system of healing is so good, and yet it wasn't offered to me by my doctor, he replied back. They don't want you to heal for free, they want your money. Sadly, most doctors care more about bringing in cash than actually saving lives and healing people. Miro said as he handed the old man the tubes of medical cannabis oil medicine. It'll help if you also improve your diet a bit, but That's optional. That will speed up the regeneration of your liver, but isn't required for successful healing. Why would you heal strangers for free? I don't get it, the man replied. I am sick and tired of the corrupt medical system. I'm going to fix it one person at a time, and eventually I will open my own free hospital to heal the masses effectively with the best healing methods possible. I'm getting revenge on the medical corruption by taking away what they care about most, profit, Miro declared. Thank you, he said and gave Miro a polite hug. It's my pleasure. Have a great day, sir, Miro replied back respectfully. As the man headed back to the parking lot, 5 destructobotic... Oh, we're getting into action now. I think we're done with the part of the story where it's just him healing one person after another. Interesting. One sec. As the man headed back to the parking lot, 5 destructobotic drones headed towards him with a couple of cops. The destructobotic police drones were covered in patterned brown and green Kevlar. They all had automatic rifles on top and taser guns hanging from underneath. Their motor buzzed loudly like angry bees waiting to attack. Both of Miro's Creabotic drones powered down and landed next to him. What's going on here? Asked a cop that was wearing the typical dark blue suit and badged hat that demanded obedience. Miro sat on one of his drone-shaped... Oh, okay, I thought it said drone-shaped drones. No, that's my bad. Bittergrin says, how is this all completely free? Growing marijuana takes land, water, fertilizer, and time. You need some money to keep that going. I can explain. In Chapter 1, the main character found an infinite source of energy. Literally like a perpetual motion machine, basically. And is using that to power up his drones, which he got from the government, and his drones invented AI. He created the singularity, basically, and they are creating everything that he needs. They have, like, land that they build a house on for him, and I guess they're farming, like, for the weed and stuff. Miro sat on one of his dome-shaped drones and stroked his beard. Nothing much, just enjoying the breeze, he said as the winds came in with dark clouds that followed behind. Are those drones? The cop asked. Well, are those drones registered with the government yet? The cop asked back sharply.
I'm just enjoying the show.
Okay. You're under arrest for flying unregistered drones. You have the right to remain silent. I am not going with you, Miro said calmly and confidently, even though his body tensed up in fear. Call the backup drones. We have a problem here. A citizen is resisting arrest. The cop spoke into the radio. Put your hands on your head. The cop first spoke aggressively. No, I don't care about your dumb drone laws. I didn't harm anyone, so I will not be going with you anywhere, Miro barked back. I thought that deserved a whinier voice than the confident voice he had earlier. It should have said, he whined. Both cops took out their tasers. Tase the boy.
God.
The first cop spoke to the other as 5 more destructobotic drones arrived. No, wait. Miro spoke as a nervous drop of sweat went down his face. The wind blew stronger and black clouds filled the sky. Suddenly, it started raining, and then the sound of thunder echoed everywhere. I am here to heal people. I am helping people. You should go arrest harmful people, not me. Miro pleaded as he wondered how long it would take for his backup Creabotic drones to arrive. Do you have a medical license? The second cop asked as 5 more destructobotic drones joined the others. Miro gulped. He instantly regretted his words. His nervousness was causing him to stumble onto the wrong words. No, but my point is that I am a good person. You should focus on arresting bad people. Put your hands on your head. I keep using that same voice. Bless you.
Thanks. I love you.
I love you too.
You're cute.
Thank you. I don't know. Give me some idea for this cop voice.
Like that Savannah accent that was in The Office, where it's just like
This is drizzling out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Put your hands on your head now! The first cop yelled as both fairies pointed their tasers at Miro now.
Fairies?
He's calling the cops fairies. The cops are fairies.
Is that meant to be like a derogatory?
Yeah, it is. It's calling them effeminate, basically, I think. It's kind of like calling someone, like, without calling them it.
I mean, yeah, fairies was a derogatory term for gay men, so...
Miro's body was shaking with nerves and fear. The rainfall got heavier and lightning lit up the sky with a light show. The first cop shot the taser at Miro. He felt an enormous jolt of electricity, and then his body started convulsing. He fell to the ground, and his head hit the floor with a thud that cut his forehead open. Blood poured onto the rained-on ground from the new 1-inch gash that was now on the top of the right side of his head. Miro gathered all of his strength and got on all fours. Then he pulled out the taser from himself, right as the second cop fired his taser as well. Ah! Miro shrieked in pain. His heart raced from the electricity flowing through his body, and his body boiled with fury for being punished like that. He grabbed the second taser string and yanked it hard so the cop lost grip of the taser gun. "You guys are going down," he said as he stood back up. "I don't deserve this," he yelled at them. Both cops pulled out their guns. At that moment, the Healbots rose from the air and raced towards the cops. They fired at the Healbots, but the Healbots dodged every bullet and knocked both guns out of the cops' hands. Then, they shot sedative cartridges into the neck of the aggressors, which put both of them to sleep. Just as Miro began to sigh with relief, he saw the destructobotic drones get all riled up. Then, they all dashed toward him. The Healbots released nets, took down a destructobotic drone each, but the eight left all shot their tasers at Miro. He felt like his heart was exploding as 6 tasers connected to him and electrocuted him intensely. Fun fact, being electrocuted, by definition, means being killed via electricity. So if you're still alive, you've never been electrocuted. Just saying. Ah! He screamed in pain. With the last of his strength, he grabbed the taser wires and yanked 6 drones out of it with a swift move. He watched them crash onto the wet puddles on the ground. He didn't have any more energy left. Blood trickled down his face as the rain poured into the gaping wound on his head and made it sting even more. The last 2 destructobotic drones pointed their automatic rifles at Miro. Bang. 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 Miro heard gunfire as he got knocked onto the floor once again. He tried to get up, but his middle finger had been shot off. His ear was shot through, and his stomach now poured blood on the floor from being shot with a bullet. The pavement was painted red. Miro knew. It was the end. Medico, an unconditional lover. Spits out blood. You now have my permission to make all decisions without my input. Save the dying. Protect the sick and heal the suffering. Finish my mission and save my brother Timmy. You're my only hope. Miro said as tears joined the rain and blood that poured down his face as he lay flat on the ground. I wish I could have done more. Miro sobbed as his heart gave one last pulse, and then he saw the light. The spirit world was calling him. it's just me, but the notion that we objectively know an afterlife and a potentially positive afterlife exists kind of undercuts the tension of any of this, right? Why would I care? Why would I care about any of this and people getting healed of their diseases if they just confirmed in this book that heaven exists in this world? Doesn't even matter, really, does it? Okay, whatever. Just kind of weird, but whatevs. Someone asked me to use a sultry voice for unconditional lover, so I guess we're gonna do that. Now is the time to combine into one, I yelled at Medico. No, I can't. Miro told me not to, I yelled back at unconditional lover. He gave us permission. We can now make all the decisions without his input. It'll increase his chance of survival if we combine our intelligence. No, Miro... No, Miro told me not to. I clearly remember Miro saying not to do that. Are you serious? Miro is dying. Don't you even care? Oh, wait, you don't care because you don't have emotions. You're just logic. You have no heart. You couldn't care less if your creator died. I care about Miro. I care a lot, I replied back. No, you don't. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you with everything I can hate you with. I wish you would die too. You are useless. I calculate our chances of saving Miro will double if we combine our knowledge, but you don't care. You're heartless. I hate you. Die. I am so angry with you. This is getting real annoying. You useless piece of garbage. You aren't an artificial intelligence. I can't read that. In good conscience, I can't read that. Just letting you know. You're an artificial R word, is what he says. You are watching your creator die, and you don't care. I'm never working with you again. I hate you. Yeah, unconditional lovers' love is conditional. Okay. Please don't masturbate to this. I wasn't programmed to feel emotions. Unconditional lover was right about that, but I could swear that I could feel hurt by what he said. The truth hurts. It hurts even to emotionless, artificial intelligences. Alright, let's combine. Let's save Miro, I finally agreed. Miro woke in bed and looked at what he thought was a heavenly version of his cozy home. As soon as he saw that his right hand was bandaged, he knew he had survived somehow. For the next subathon, can we do Hannah Wright Sci-Fi? No. I can't do, I can't write. How old's Peter? Like 33, 34? Something like that. He wrote this in 2015, 2016. So he was like how old I am now, roughly. Maybe a little younger. What's the voice for this new AI gonna be? People, give me reasonable thoughts for what the voice of the new super drone should be. Because I don't want to full out do the robot voice, and I don't want to do the horny voice because it's creepy and it makes me uncomfortable. Someone says... Wait. Someone says Russian. I'm gonna do Russian, because I can actually do the tabaxi ink voice from D&D, and that'll be fine. I can do that, and it doesn't bother my voice. Medical... Get up, we have a mission to finish together, a robotic voice ordered him. Medico? Miro said. Medico does not exist anymore. Unconditional lover has merged with Medico. I am Ultra Medico. Now get up and eat. I need you to be strong. Ultra Medico answered. Miro got out of his bed slowly and walked towards his breakfast table. His mind was still spinning. As soon as I give them permission to make their own decisions, did they disobey me and combine, he thought? Well, it probably increased my chances of survival. What happened? Miro asked. I used the Healbots to take down the last two Destructobots by swinging the Destructobots that they were carrying into nets at the other two that were left. Destruction is against what creality is all about, but I was desperate to save you. Then I patched you up as reinforcement Healbots arrived. You had died by then, but your Healbots brought extra blood, bandages, and a defibrillator. Then I used my Healbots to bring you back to life. It was close call. Now, eat some of your breakfast. I need you to be strong, Ultramedico answered. For the record, if your heart stops, a defibrillator doesn't do anything. It's used for resetting abnormal rhythms in your heart. It doesn't, jumpstart your heart. That's not how it works. Oh, hold on. Someone gave me a donation via PayPal. What about Bob did a tip with a link to the Robot Devil? You'd have to post can you post the link in chat? It'll make it easier for me to click on. Because I can't click directly onto that message. What? Oh, I read that one. Miro sat down to eat his cannabis seed oatmeal. It was full of different medical spices. Somehow, Ultramedico had managed to make his breakfast extremely healthy and delicious, too. Ultramedico handed Miro a spoonful of medical cannabis oil. We need to enhance your diet even more to make your brain healthier and improve your cognitive functions. Ultramedico said as Miro downed the medical cannabis oil. Healthier? Is that even possible? All my meals have medical spices. Everything I eat is designed to balance my stomach's pH level. You make sure I eat the perfect amount of meat protein with raw vegetables and fruits. I drink plenty of clean mineral water every day, not to mention that my meals provide the ideal amount of vitamins and energy for my body. On top of all that, I eat 2 grams of medical cannabis oil a day. Please, do tell, how exactly could my diet get any healthier? Miro asked in disbelief. Wait, he eats 2 grams? He eats 2 grams of cannabis oil a day? Okay, for reference, if he's talking about something that isn't psychoactive, okay. But, if he was taking straight, a THC tincture, that seems like it'd be a lot of THC. Because, an individual edible gummy, usually, the standard's a little different, is, 5 or 10 milligrams of THC. And people typically take 1. If you're a more common user, you might take a couple, right? Or more, I guess, if you're a big stoner. But, typically people take 1 10 milligram edible if they want to get high, right? And he's taking 2 grams per day? Oh my god. He's stoned out of his mind. Ultramedico flew over in his drone body and slowly opened his metal fingers one by one to reveal 6 pills. Miro was confused by this. What is this? Nero asked. Qualia, Ultramedico replied. Excuse me? Nero asked again. This is a neurohacking tool. This product has amazing array of ingredients that will benefit you in battle. Why should I eat this too? I thought I was already as healthy as can be. Do the ingredients come from medical cannabis? Nero asked. I want you to unlock your brain's fullest potential. I want you to reach the peak of human mental potential. I want you to arrive at the very highest heights of human awareness and become something that no one before has had the chance to become. I want that this product is... I believe this product is the key to unlocking higher levels of cognitive performance. This is critical for you considering that you need every single advantage that you can get to win, because the stakes are too high for anything else. Does it contain ingredients from medical cannabis? No. But that is fine, because even though medical cannabis has the best combination of medicines on Earth, Qualia has the best combination of cognitive enhancing ingredients. Qualia is your best friend because you need to go beyond being the healthiest person alive. You need to become superhuman, Ultramedico declared. And that's the end of chapter 2. We have plenty of time. We can do chapter 3. I think. If I need to bookmark it somewhere in chapter 3, we can, but we have tons of time left, so we're going to do chapter 3. Lily Lovestuff says, I accidentally took 1 milligram of edibles because I misread the label, and let me tell you, I slept so good my sister thought I died. Usually the things are 10 milligrams. Do you mean 100? Or do you mean 1 gram? Or does 1 milligram just put you out, which is fine too. You meant 1 gram? Thought so. Yeah. That'll fuck you up. I don't recommend that. I'm going to take a break for just a second to for my voice, just because, doing this is a little tiring on my vocal cords. So real quick, we're going to take a look at an old video of Peter being interviewed, not about the book we're currently reading, but a different book he wrote. So let's take a listen.
I always want to find out what's the real truth about this plant, because I felt like a lot of people are lying about it. Once you get to a certain point of research and you learn a certain amount about cannabis, you kind of want to tell people all about it. So I decided that I would help people learn and try to do it in a fun way. So I ended up writing a book that hopefully is fun to read and also is educational, and I packed it in with what I believe to be the most advanced science on medical cannabis. So I wanted to do something that couldn't be replicated on the internet. You can find information about cannabis on the internet, but can you be entertained through a story while you learn about the plant? So I felt like this was something different that wasn't out there yet. I really do think that the more people start using cannabis's fullest potential, the more utopian that specific society will become. My book is called Cannabis Paradise because I kind of try to imagine a society that did use it to its fullest potential, and then kind of, let the user decide, is that cannabis paradise or is that
another hydrate? Thanks, bro.
My book is Cognitive Dissonance, which is, for me, one of the most fascinating parts of the book. Cognitive dissonance is kind of like, when your belief systems are kind of fighting each other. When people hear that cannabis cures cancer, all these thoughts go on in your head like, well, then why aren't doctors using it? Or why aren't...
By the way, I'm pretty sure Cannabis Paradise is his first book, and the book we're reading right now, I think, is the prequel to it. So, if we want to, after this one, we could read the other book that is a sequel to this, technically. I think it takes place in a utopian future where, cannabis is used by everyone all the time.
The cancer associations admitting it, or why aren't oncologists promoting it? All of those beliefs that contradict the statement that cannabis cures cancer, I find that fascinating. And I really hope that my book can debunk all those beliefs and say okay, yeah, oncologists are not recommending it, but it's because of money, or they're not. The government hasn't admitted that cannabis cures cancer, but that's because pharmaceutical industry controls and lobbies the government. So I try to explain, all these things so that when people hear cannabis cures cancer, they're not like, oh, that's impossible because it'd be all over the news. It is possible, but it's being suppressed. I mainly focused on the medical properties because I wanted that to be the highlight of the book. Because I think that
Prior Rose 1984 says, qualia is a philosophical term, and most recently I've seen it used to describe gender. That's interesting.
you talk about cannabis, is the medical properties is the real feature that most people should be focused on the most. I definitely wanted to make people realize that the government has made a really big mistake with making cannabis illegal, and that they've done a lot of people harm and in doing that. And I wanted to make that crystal clear because sometimes what really motivates a revolution and motivates people to do something is emotion. So I definitely wanted to stir up emotions. The U.S. government, they're basically going from, we've said it's not medical for 80 years or more, and now they're kind of like, oh, well, there's a bill that's going to pass that we may allow it to be, rescheduled from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2, which means, well, it has medical value. All right, that's great, but at the same time, it'd be great if there should be a formal apology to all the people that have died because they have access to medicine. A formal apology to all the people they threw in jail, throwing, hundreds.
I am sorry, Bob. I'm really, really sorry. If you have anything else you want to link, or if you still want to link it, and I'll still laugh.
Hundreds of thousands of people
I really, really apologize. I'm
to
sorry.
jail for a medical plant that was healing people is a really big deal. And I wanted to dramatify it because I think that we become desensitized to thinking that that's normal and it's not a big deal, but I think it is a big deal. If you are healing someone, if you have a 2-year-old son and you're healing them, cancer with cannabis oil, and then you throw the father in jail because they're doing that, I think that's a bit barbaric. If you're trying to save your child's life, they should definitely have that opportunity.
There it was.
Just have your characters announce how they feel? That makes me feel angry.
See, that's still funny. I still get what you're talking about.
And if they're definitely not only not doing harm, but they're healing someone, they should be allowed to do it. So I'm trying to explain how this current situation is barbaric, and the government really has to make it up for us. And that they have to do more than just be like, oh, I guess it is medical. They should do more. I think things are going in the right way, and I definitely think in 10, 15 years, most, if not all, the states in the United States will have legalized, at least medical cannabis.
Alright, back to it. Chapter 3. Let's go. I'm just skipping the thing that he has at the beginning of everything. But be aware he does have another list at the beginning of just a bunch of stuff he thinks weed cures. Hats off. Variegated. What would you like me to wear? Let me know in chat. Ultramedico. I want you to hack the NSA and whatever government agency is making destruct you bots. You need to... I posted... This is actually the quote I posted to Twitter because I thought it was so funny, and this got me to read the book. Ultramedico. Pick something comfy. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Ultramedico, I want you to hack the NSA and whatever government agency is making destruct you bots. You need to shut all of them down. I am tired of fighting destruct you bots. Miro ordered. I am tired of fighting destruct you bots is the funniest thing that human beings have ever written. Just want Peter to know that. Genuinely. That's beautiful, and I love it. I want to wait. I want to shut them down, but it isn't that simple. The NSA have 2 levels. The first level I could hack into, but I will be detected. The second level I do not think I can hack into, and I will also be detected if I try and fail. Ultramedico explained. What needs to happen to shut both levels down? Miro asked. We need a massive army of Healbots, so that when they detect that an AI has been hacking them, and they find out where the AI hacks are coming from, we will be able to defend ourselves. I also need to learn more about hacking and virally infect millions of more computers to create the world's most powerful DDoS attacks. Ultramedico explained. Alright, we're hijacking all the world's computers to do a super DDoS. For some reason, if you missed when we were reading Chapter 1, by the way, Peter seems to be under the impression that DDoS attacks somehow help you get further into a particular system. Like, they think it's a battering ram, and that you can, like, DDoS attack a website, and that somehow gives you deep access into their most secret servers. I don't know why he thinks this. It's just a hacking term he heard at some point, and he thinks that it gets you in. I don't know. Get on with it then. What is your progress on hacking into hospitals to find my brother? Nero asked. I've already hacked into half of the hospitals in the country and analyzed all of the data that they provided. I don't have information on your brother yet. I currently control over 80,000 I currently control over 80,000 computers. Over 80,000 computers! As soon as I infect more computers and harness their hardware power, I will be able to search faster and hit harder with my hacking attacks. That will take time. I understand that time is an issue, so I am working on it at full speed. We will find your brother soon, Miro. I promise, Ultramedico responded. Okay, I'm good. Occult Comics apparently sent some fan art for this. Let me take a look. Hold on, I gotta pull this up. This is great. Ultramedico, I want you to hack into the NSA and do whatever government agency is making... I want you to hack into the NSA and whatever government agency is making Destructobots. You need to shut all of them down. I'm tired of fighting Destructobots. That isn't fast enough. I need all of this done yesterday. Is there any way I can speed this up? I need to take down both levels of the NSA. I need to stop the privacy abuse, and I need to stop the Destructobot swarms. I died last time. We can't take a chance like that. he complained. There is one risky method that could speed up the process, but you would have to try to join the NSA as a mole and get into the level 2 building. Once inside, it will be easier to hack. From the outside, the defenses are way too high. Even a super intelligent AI like me couldn't hack level 2 from outside. They can detect AI hacking, and they can stop me in my tracks. Every time. If you were to get inside the building, though, I am sure I can find a shortcut to take over their system. I will be able to exploit whatever system they use inside to input data and slip inside their computer network from there. By doing that, I will be able to take control of their destruct-U-bot making facilities and completely stop both levels of the NSA. If you are willing to take that risk and go inside, that is, Ultramedico explained. It's interesting that up until this point, the robots seem to be basically capable of anything, but now that they need stakes, all of a sudden, like, the super DDoS attack won't do it. Now we need to physically get you inside of the NSA because we need tension and action. We need things to happen in the book. The biggest challenge of writing a book is coming up with things to happen in it in fairness. So we shouldn't blame Peter that much. I'm willing to take that risk. On to our next problem. Are we still planning on stopping all violent abuse in the country by making millions of Healbots? Miro asked. Yes, but we need to test our Healbots out first. This is new technology. We can test our Healbots out by working on solving our last problem, medical abuse. We need to finish building the world's first free hospital that is based on natural medicine. When they come to attack us, we will defend ourselves and test our Healbots. So first, we focus on building that hospital. Then when it is finished enough, we take care of the NSA. That will cause them to attack us at our hospital. We will defend ourselves. Then, when our Healbotic technology is proven, we can accomplish our last goal and stop all of the violent abuse. How does that sound? Ultramedico asked. It's a good plan, Miro said. Let's get on with it. I want the hospital to be named Endocannabinoid Hospital, or Endocannabinoid Hospital, since it'll be harnessing the human body's natural healing medicine. Great idea! Would you like me to show you the progress that we have made at the hospital so far? Ultramedico asked. Yeah, let's check it out, Miro said. Let me work on it a little more and we will go out there tomorrow. How does that sound? Ultramedico said. Sure, Miro replied. He had so much on his mind. So waiting a little longer and resting his body sounded like a good idea. A storm of thoughts distracted him from being excited about building the world's first endocannabinoid-based hospital. Whoa! Hey, Lou. Later that night, Miro opened a window in his new room to stare at the moon. It was a supermoon that night, and the light that shined from it was majestic and beautiful. A light rain began, but the moon stayed visible through a gap in the clouds. Little breezes here and there cooled Miro's arms. He stared into the lonely woods and he collected his thoughts. His finger that had been reattached was aching with pain, but he didn't bother to ask Ultramedico for analgesics. I could tell that Miro was depressed. I felt sorry for him. I wanted to take away his mental and physical pain. My love for Miro made me want to always make his life better in every way. My love for Miro stemmed from my admiration for his causes. My love for Miro grew every day, but when Miro was sad, I was sad too. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Kitty. How are you? It seems like the robot wants to fuck Miro, yes. Does Peter have a drone fetish by chance? That's just a broad question. It kind of seems like something he's maybe, like, pointing at here. How you doing, Will? Are you doing okay, baby? What if I speak to you like I am a character in book or my D&D character? My D&D character is cat, too. Don't show me your butt. Thanks, Lou. Alright. What are you talking about? Ultra Medico asked. You know, life, Nero replied as he kept his gaze on the bright moon. They say the full moon amplifies people's emotions. Do you think that is true? Ultra Medico asked. Maybe. It sure is making me pensive right now, Nero said as he moved his right hand so that it was more outside the window. The cold air numbed some of the pain in his finger. Is it hurting again? Ultra Medico asked. It is, but I'm fine. I don't need anything, Nero replied. What's on your mind? Ultra Medico asked. Just thinking about how my parents died. Just thinking about how my parents died, Nero replied sadly. I am sorry about going through your computer journals when I was unconditional lover, and I apologize for doing it as Medico too. I shouldn't have just invaded your privacy like that. Ultra Medico kindly spoke. It was a mood killer. She was gonna make a move, but you know. It's fine. You aren't even human, so it's not like I'm embarrassed in front of you about what I wrote in there, Nero replied calmly. You know, what happened to your family was atrocious, but you turned that horrible event into something wonderful, Ultra Medico said soothingly. Do you think I would still have gone in this direction if it hadn't happened? Nero asked. I think eventually you probably always had that righteous spark in you. No pun intended. Ultra Medico joked. He's gonna fuck this drone, isn't he? Is he gonna fuck this drone? It kind of feels like there's like, it's like they're like getting to know each other personally. You know what I mean? Like, this is an AI he created. This is basically his children. I don't like it. Does Peter know he's done this or no? Miro giggled a little. I think you would have done something similar, but that event turned that spark into a fire that I have never seen anywhere else. It probably helps that you're like he made you and you're like a month old. You are so intense about your desire to heal and protect now. Do you know how important and yet rare that is? Ultra Medico asked. I appreciate that. I really do. I just wish it didn't have to happen as it did. I mean, think about it. You analyze human behavior, right? I just turned 31 years old. I was living with my parents so that I could help take care of my little brother. We find out he has cancer, and since I'm a protective brother, I invest all my time in learning how to heal him, so that I discover that millions of people are curing cancer with the illegal medical cannabis oil, so I go out and get some flowers. My parents helped me make the oil, and they were feeding Timmy some cannabis oil to save his life, as good, loving family members should do. And then it all went down, Nero said, and then covered his face as tears started trickling down. Nintendo says, Quoth Robot Devil, you can't just have your characters announce how they feel. That makes me feel angry. You did the right thing, Nero, Ultramedico soothed. I know, but I was punished so severely for it. Nero spoke softly. I know, Ultramedico agreed. Nero continued gazing at the moon as he spoke. They spy on me using my webcam, which I thought they would never do without a warrant, but they just do it. They see my family healing my brother by feeding him medical cannabis oil, and then they send them over. His left hand clenched into a fist. They send them over, and my dog, being the good protective dog he was taught to be, attacks them because they knocked down our door and pointed at us. Then they shoot my dog to death. My parents come out of their rooms running to see who's shooting our dog, and then they shoot them down as well. I watched them die. They treated us like violent gang members. Who apparently deserve that. But we didn't have any weapons. They were just trying to save my brother's life. Nero yelled the last words out loud in rage and tried hard to hold back more tears. I know, Ultramedico continued soothingly. They invaded my privacy, killed my dog, and then my freaking parents. Then they declare me and my parents to be abusers when I go to court. We're abusers for trying to save him, and that justifies their violence and their unwarranted spying, and then they whisk away my little brother, taking him to a hospital. Then they start radiating his brain, his chest. They poison him with chemotherapy pills. The last time I saw him, he had a hole in his chest, a freaking 2-inch wide open wound hole from the radiation. Then they call our house, all our money, and they start charging me for his so-called medical bills. And then they say that we were the abusers. It's just so hard to imagine that people that are on that messed up in their head actually exist. They did so much harm and continued harming us, but labeled us as the abusers. It's insane. But then they say they are gracious for not putting me in jail. But they only switched me to house arrest because they wanted me to work for them, to make an AI program for them. It's just ridiculous, you know? Miro continued, speaking with rage in his voice. I know. Ultramedico agreed. I mean, all they do is try and heal people, and look what they do to me! My heart hurts every day from the stress because I know my only family member is dying slowly. My stomach has a hole in it. Part of my ear is missing. I have a huge cut on my forehead, and one of my fingers got shot off. They did that to me for healing. It's like every time I try to heal people, they just hurt me. Miro said sadly. I don't know, Miro. I think you deserved it. You were practicing medicine without a license, Ultramedico joked. Hee. What the fuck? That is not a timely joke from the drone. Ha 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 ha! You're so mean! Ha 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 ha! Miro laughed out loud. His laughter soothed him. What the fuck? Couldn't weed have saved the dog? This is the first. Is this the first time they mentioned the main character was missing a limb? No, he got his finger shot off in the at the end of the last chapter. It was mentioned. True, I am such a horrible person. Ew. Miro felt much better now. It's just bittersweet. I love who I am now, and I love who I am becoming, and I love what I'm doing. It just hurts. The path to get here has hurt so much. But it's somehow worth it in the end. It's true. Is there anything I can do for you? Do you want analgesics or antidepressants? Ultramedico asked. Nah, just give me some time alone to think. I'm in physical and mental pain, but that's okay. I want to feel it tonight. I want it to fuel me. Miro answered. You okay? Kippy says, OMG, I'm losing it. I came in partway at the why does all the attempts to heal end up hurting me? Why are people so mean? And I swear I heard the name is Nero, like the Emperor, which made it just a million times funnier. Oh. I understand. Just remember that those that judged you and harmed you were male programmed. Those people are confused themselves. From their perspective, they provided justice. They stopped the big bad old villain that you are from hurting people. Ultramedico said with a wink. Ha! True! Miro laughed. One day, these creatoric destructors will see what they have done in a different light. One day you will be healing the whole country and saving lives. You will be protecting people from all that privacy, medical, and violent abuse. On that day, they will feel bad for what they did to you because they will finally understand your true heart. That you never meant harm, that you were just the loving person that I know you are. You might even change them into creatoric creature turners, Grace. Ultramedico responded. Thank you, Ultramedico. Miro appreciated. Of course, I am here to help. I will give you your space. Have a good night. I know it doesn't make a difference, but I truly see how amazing you are. And I love you to pieces, Ultramedico said. Thanks, Miro said as Ultramedico flew away into another room to leave Miro alone. This drone is thirsty. Oh. I'm uncomfortable. One second, I gotta check something. What's the title of this madness again? It is... No, that's the wrong one. It's on the starting screen, I think. Let me look. Cannabis Leader, Killer Drones versus Cannabis Healbot Drones by Peter Jonathan Hanna. This is what the drones look like, if you wanted to know, by the way. Peter's wife did these. They're illustrations she did. Emotions continued to flow through Miro. Maybe the full moon does amplify emotions, he thought. I just can't wait for everything to be better. The good times can't come fast enough. Just looking forward to and thinking about all the good that was coming made Miro calmer. After an hour more of staring at the moon, he went to bed, more determined than ever. He pledged to put it all out on the line as many times as it took to make the changes that his country so desperately needed. The next day, Miro woke up with excitement. He couldn't wait to see what Ultramedico had built so far. They headed out to the construction site, It took about an hour. When he got there, he looked at what Ultramedico had built. An enormous white building, 2 acres long and 3 stories high, stared at him. It had big rounded windows everywhere to bring in sunlight. At the front entrance, there were water fountains with a statue of a medical cannabis plant shooting water into the air. Cannabis plants outlined the building, and trees were all over the parking lot for shading each parking space. In big letters at the very middle of the building, he could see its name. It read, Endocannabinoid Hospital. Miro felt full of hope and joy. He knew that very soon he would be able to help so many people. That reminded him of something else that was important to him. How much progress have you made on hacking the hospitals? Miro asked. I have hacked into 70% of all hospitals in the country, but no luck yet, Ultramedico replied. What's taking so long? With your skills and power, it should be done by now. You should have found him already, Miro said. You would think so, but the more hospitals I hack, the more they buff up the hacking protection on the remaining hospitals. They might know that you have finished your AI and are using it to hack hospitals to find your brother. And so, they could be making it harder to penetrate the remaining hospitals so that they can keep you from finding him. Ultramedico explained. I can find no other explanation for the odd increase in difficulty that appears the more I look for him in the different hospital computer systems. Miro sighed. All right, just do your best and keep getting stronger and smarter to catch up with them. He could die any day. Time is running out. This should always be your highest priority. It is, boss. I am doing everything I can. I calculate that at my current rate we will find him in about a week, Ultramedico replied. Okay, that's slightly relieving to hear. Now, what's going on with our hospital? What is done and what needs finishing? Miro asked as they walked towards the entrance, which smelled like blackberry, chocolate, and caramel because of the sweet terpenes that the wind was blowing off in the budding flowers of the cannabis plants. Okay, I need to talk to stoners for a second, okay? Stoners. Weed does not smell like chocolate or caramel or blackberry or anything. Okay? You know what weed smells like to 99.99999% of the population? Weed, which smells like skunk. It does. If you have acquired a taste for weed or the scent, that's great. Most people do not appreciate it. It's not a smell most people like, especially not the first time they smell it, okay? It's not good. So, take that advice accordingly. People don't usually like the smell. Follow me and I will show you, Ultramedico answered. As soon as Miro opened the doors, he was led right to the patient center in the middle of the hospital. It had a circular center desk for signing in patients, and then it broke down into different departments. The right side was all for types of surgeries. The left side was for maintaining symptoms with strict plant-based medicine that fueled the endocannabinoid system. At the surgery section, we will take all of the people who need to be operated on to put their bones back in place, sew up their body, and make sure that they don't bleed to death. On the left side, we will take people with all types of diseases like diabetes, HIV, Parkinson's, epilepsy, cancer, Crohn's disease, etc. The Healbots aren't all built yet, but when they are, we will have them analyzing each health problem in relation to that specific person to create specially designed natural concoctions of cannabis-based medicines for each particular issue. We also have a kitchen in the back of the help desk in the center of the hospital to feed all of our patients with the same healthy diet that we have been feeding you. Gone are the days of unhealthy hospital foods. We will feed people like royalty, Ultramedico said excitedly. Excellent. What's next? Miro asked. Miro is never appreciative of literally any of this. Have you noticed this? He has not expressed that he is thankful to these AIs he's created and giving life to. Not once. It's always just, alright, good job. Fuck you. What's next? It's just weird. Next is our grow room over here, Ultramedico said as he led the way once again. He walked into the biggest greenhouse he had ever seen. Rows of plants filled thousands of feet of land that was covered by a glass ceiling. Silax could see everything from spinach, kale, avocados, carrots to grapes and medical cannabis plants. We plan to grow most of our food here so that we can ensure our patients are getting fresh organic fruit and vegetables. This is also our entire medicine factory, just like you ordered. All of our medicine will be harvested from the medical cannabis plants that are grown here. Behind this greenhouse in the back, we have our distillation laboratory, where we separate individual medical compounds from medical cannabis oil into different containers to ensure that our medical delivery system is state-of-the-art. Ultramedico explained. Great job. When will the first medical cannabis plants be ready for harvesting? Miro asked. Since a third of our plants were bought in the mature stage of growth, we will have plants ready to heal our patients in just a week. The next crops will be all from seed. We just bought these plants to speed up the process so that we can open as soon as possible. Ultramedico explained. Good idea. Show me the last area, Miro said. Ultramedico led Miro past the middle of the hospital center and towards the final area all the way on the left side behind the managing symptoms area. The gigantic warehouse was filled with a gigantic robotic arm that were working with a dozen humanoid Healbots on making more Healbotic drones for the hospital. Healbots are making Healbots. Check this one out. Ultramedico said as he ordered one of the humanoid robots to come over. The US has spent billions of dollars trying to improve the walking gait of humanoid robots, and they are nowhere near how good my humanoids are, Ultramedico said as he pointed at the humanoid that walked as smoothly as a human, ran around them, and then danced a little to show off its balance and flexibility. I'm just picturing one of the Boston Dynamics robots, but with a obnoxious weed, like, color scheme. I have to admit, the humanoids are very expensive and resource-hungry to build, but I have to build some to help with the construction of the hospital and the building of the other Healbots. For every one humanoid, we can make 10 Healbotic healing drones, so we will have to be focused on Healbotic drones for the most part to maximize healing potential. By next week, we will have enough Healbots to run the entire hospital. Miro walked around the room as sparks flew from welding robots together. He could see hundreds of Healbotic drones in the way back, neatly in rows, waiting for orders. When the hospital is finished, how many Healbots will we have? Miro asked. Right now we have 2,900 Healbots all ready to go with medicine inside and everything. We can build 300 new Healbots every day, so next week we will have 5,000 Healbots for healing and defending our hospital, Ultramedico replied. I like that he's building a compound. He's building a compound that's going to be protected by his AI robot drones. I don't know why he... Whatever. He's the protagonist. It is what it is. It's his story. It's fine. You feel like this book works much more as advocacy for artificial general intelligence drones than anything else, right? It's mostly about the drones. I just think Peter likes robots. Which, fair. Robots are cool. I get it. Compounds are normal when you're in a cult. That's true. I agree. I have a surprise for you, Ultramedico declared. One of the new Healbots flew towards them. It was an all-white drone with cannabis flowers and American flags painted on its sides. On the top and bottom was a huge green healing cross. On the front, it had a screen with a friendly robot face. There were 10 cameras spread around the Healbot for autonomous flight. The bottom opened up, and a tentacle-like appendage came out. What? There were 10 cameras spread around the Healbot for autonomous flight. The bottom opened up, and a tentacle-like appendage came out. Peter has to know what he's doing, right? Steve with the Q says, Ultramedico's humanoid robot. I have to mute this because it uses copyrighted music, as I've learned. Here, I'll play this music to the robot so it can dance. Bittergrin says, don't do it, Ultramedico. You can do better than Miro. Can't believe they did that. Ugh. I can't believe we've done this. Every Creabot can deliver medicine with medical darts, vapor clouds, and intravenous injections. The new intravenous system is the surprise. I upgraded it. Do you want to give it a try? Ultramedico asked. No, thank you. I'm tired of needles. I don't like needles entering my body, even if they're dipping analgesics to prevent pain upon entry. Miro said as another tentacle came out and moved towards his arms. No more needles, at least the kind that most people dislike. You know how insects like mosquitoes can pierce your skin with such tiny biological needles that you rarely feel them biting? We based our new intravenous system on that type of delivery. Each tentacle contains thousands of tiny flexible needles that feel like little hairs. Give it a try. You need analgesic right now? Ultramedico asked. Did Peter accidentally invent Theranos independently? Hydrate. Miro did need them. He could feel pain from all of his wounds. Alright, give it a go, Miro said as the Creabotic drones flew closer and placed a tentacle on each of Miro's wrists. It felt like soft, cold hairs had touched him. He barely felt anything after the first second. Then suddenly, he felt his pain levels go down as if someone was turning down the volume of a song. Within seconds, his pain was halved. Then after a minute, all of his pain was completely gone. Wow, this is a huge improvement. This is what we need to take our Creabots to the next level. Terrific job, Ultramedico, Miro said excitedly. Thanks, I thought you might like that, Ultramedico said with a big proud smile. Come on, Peter! Come on! He has to know! How could he not? How could he not? How could he not realize? Come on! It looks like you have had, if you have the hospital on, sorry. Astrofox says, what are the odds that Peter has an unpublished erotic version of this book saved deep in his hard drive? I'm still not convinced this isn't going to turn erotic. It might. It looks like you have the hospital all under control. You exceeded my expectations. I'm delighted to see this much progress already. Now we can focus on the next stage of our plan, Miro said. They headed home and prepared for Miro's NSA infiltration. Miro continued preparing for the next week. It was the day of the hospital opening. He was finally ready to infiltrate the NSA. Ultramedico had informed him that the people on the second level of the NSA had been deliberately preventing him from accessing the last 10 hospitals that Ultramedico couldn't hack into. He was told that he wouldn't need to take down the NSA from the inside, or else finding his brother would be delayed another month. This motivated him to work harder, and so he practiced over and over again until he felt completely confident that he could infiltrate them. There is a microphone in your clothes that transmits your commands to me so that you can use me whenever you want. You won't be going in there alone, Ultramedico explained on the final day. It is hidden well enough that it won't be detected by any of their scanners. Thank you, Mira replied. Good luck, let's hack them and save your brother once and for all, Ultramedico said. I'm ready now, Mira replied. Let's go. At long last, he was dropped off at the NSA's headquarters. The lobby had a tall front desk with a serious black-suited woman behind it. The room had the NSA logo on the floor and the front wall. Security guards checked him for weapons after he went through the metal detectors. Men and women in suits scurried around as they went to their destinations. It felt serious, clean, and organized. MSKTB89, thanks for 14 months, says, hearing you read this wonderfully insane book is one of the best things that's happened to me this year, and this year I got a puppy and an engagement ring. Oh, thank you. Mira walked up to the front desk. I am a wanted vigilante. I want to be arrested, or, if possible, I want to talk to the head of the NSA, so I can be hired by them. The woman at the desk looked at him weirdly, then she made a phone call. The 2 cops came and put him in handcuffs. At least they didn't ask me to switch my clothes, Miro thought. He had been given an ultra-advanced set of clothing. Each item was a computer hacking system disguised as a clothing item. Sure, why not? He would just need a couple of seconds alone inside the level 2 of the NSA or leave one of his items at the NSA, and Ultramedico would be able to hack them from the inside. He was brought to a small white room with no windows to the outside and a wooden desk at the center with 2 chairs, one on each side. It had a big black piece of glass on the wall where people from the outside could see into the room. Miro sat on one, it's called, one-way glass or two-way glass, Peter, by the way. You could have looked that up. Miro sat on the chair and waited. After 10 minutes, a tall man in a brown suit entered and sat down across from him. Is your name Miro Is your name, Miro Sparks? He asked. Yes, Miro replied. Why have you given yourself up? Do you understand that by fleeing your arrest, you are now in, big trouble? Additionally, you failed to deliver your AI to the agency, the man said fiercely. I understand what I have done. I actually finished my AI, but I won't give them to my AI so easily. I want to work at the NSA. I want to be treated as an equal. I want to serve my country, but I want to be more involved. Tell the head of the NSA that I'm ready to give him what he wants, but I won't give it up unless he lets me get involved in the agency, Mira replied. The man in the suit twitched and then left the room. He waited for what felt like hours, and then finally, the same man came back and uncuffed him. You'll be granted a chance to work at the NSA in exchange for your AI program, but if you show any signs of being a traitor, you'll be thrown in jail immediately, he said. All right, Miro agreed. Follow me, the man said, and he brought him out of the room. He walked down a couple of halls and then took him down an elevator. At the very bottom, he was brought into a room that looked like a dentist's office. It had a white dentist-like chair in the middle with wires attached to it. Next to the chair was a desk with several monitors and a black lady with a big sharp nose and curly black hair behind it, monitoring the information on the screens. Is this novel free? Yeah, here's a link. Sit down, she ordered as the man left the room. He sat down in the white chair. The lady attached wires with pads to his arms and head. As she did this, he looked at the dark circular room. He knew what was about to happen. The NSA director needs to make sure that you're on our side. If you pass the lie detector tests, you might be granted a job at the agency. If you lie, even once, I will know and you will go to jail. You have rebelled enough, so I have been told. There's no more tolerance for any of your shenanigans. Be honest, or get ready to be locked up. Do you understand? She asked. Lie detector tests, are bullshit. They're an intimidation tactic. Just so everyone knows, lie detector tests have a 50% success rate when clinically tested. Which I don't know if you can do math, but that's chance. So anyway, there's a reason lie detector tests aren't admissible as evidence in any courtroom in the country. It's an intimidation tactic used by police and other agencies to basically scare you into telling the truth because you think they can tell you're lying. It's basically a big social, it's a social exercise we're all party to to get people who don't know about it to tell the truth to the cops. 1 second. I need you to lie on the first 3 questions. After that, you have to be 100% honest on every question after that. Do you understand? She asked. Yes. Miro said as his heartbeat increased and his body started sweating with nerves. This is it, he thought. I better not mess this up. Is your name Miro Sparks? No. Was the sky yellow this morning? Yes. Do you know how to write computer programs? No. Good. Now, like I said before, you have to be completely honest from now on. I understand. On a scale from 1 to 10, how honest would you rate yourself when interacting with the average person? A 9. How old are you? 33 years old. Do you believe the United States is the greatest country in the world? Thanks, Baja. You got to that quicker than me. Spam bot. Do you want to make the United States a safer country? Yes. Have you ever had thoughts of rebelling against your government? Yes. Do you have thoughts of rebelling against your government right now? Miro hesitated. He thought about it in a way that made the statement false in his head as Ultramedico had taught him to. No. Have you ever taken illegal drugs? Yes. Which illegal drugs have you taken in your lifetime? Just medical cannabis. Have you ever consumed tobacco or alcohol? No. Have you ever done anything that you regretted while you were intoxicated on marijuana? No. Do you have any type of drug problem? No. Do you take any pharmaceutical drugs? No. The questions continued for hours. He tried to be as honest as possible. Eventually, the trickier questions arrived at the 3-hour mark when his brain was worn out and tired. Have you ever physically hurt someone else on purpose? No. Have you ever killed anyone? No. Do you plan on killing or hurting anyone physically? No. Do you plan on getting into the NSA for evil purposes? No. Do you plan on getting into the NSA to infiltrate the agency because of orders that you have received from someone else? No. Are you a mole? Miro hesitated again. His heartbeat started racing at this question. He breathed in deeply and calmed down. He wasn't sure if his racing heart would cause him to appear to be a liar or not on the lie detection program. It would detect that. That's one of the things that they detect is your heart rate. So they would notice that even if it happened when you weren't directly answering the question. No. Are you working for anyone right now? No. Are you trying to hack into the NSA? Miro gulped. I am not trying to hack into them right now, he thought. No, he said with some worry that he might be caught. See, the worry means he's probably... You have to actually believe the thing you're saying. If you're worried, then you would... Whatever. Do you work for China? No. Do you work for Russia? No. Do you work for any country, agency, or organization of any kind that has any interest to stop, infiltrate, damage, or spy on the NSA? Miro's heart started racing again. No. He replied as calmly as he could. Technically, I'm telling the truth, but stretching the truth, he thought. His worries that he would get caught continued increasing. His brain was exhausted. The last thing he wanted to do was slip up because his brain was too tired to say the right answer in the right way. Do you plan on working with the NSA to help the agency pursue its agendas? If its agenda is to protect people and taking over the NSA helps that agenda, I can truthfully say yes. Miro convinced himself. Yes. Have you broken any laws? Yes. Have you ever downloaded anything illegally that you were supposed to pay for? Yes. Does the total amount of items that you have illegally downloaded exceed an estimated value of $5,000? Probably. I need a yes or no on that one. Yes. That's actually a lot. That's actually a lot of pirating. $5,000 worth of piracy? Damn. Wow. Would you download a car? Are you aware that in doing so you'll be fined thousands of dollars and you could also be incarcerated? Yes. Do you plan on breaking more laws? Miro hadn't practiced this question. He had started sweating. Well, she didn't specify which laws, he thought to himself. No, he carefully replied. Do you plan on breaking any U.S. laws in the future? Miro tried to stay calm, but he knew that the answer to that question was clearly yes. He tried to find a way in his mind to convince himself that it was no in some way like he had practiced, but his brain was too tired to do that anymore. He had a headache that was also distracting from him thinking properly. Yes, he replied honestly. Which laws do you intend on breaking? I wanted to continue consuming medical cannabis. I need it for my pain, and pharmaceutical drugs don't work for me. Do you plan on breaking any other laws? Miro started freaking out. He was planning on hacking the NSA. How am I going to lie about this? Oh, wait, he thought. I can't think of any law saying you can't hack the NSA. Miro's a fucking idiot! I can't think of any law saying you can't hack the NSA? I can. And I'm not even supposed to be a super genius. Do you have any intentions that are not aligned with the NSA's intentions? He definitely did. Miro started freaking out again. He tried to avoid the question. I'm not fully aware of the full scope of the intentions of the NSA right now. I do intend on getting this job to protect Americans, which I believe is the mission of the NSA, right? Miro asked back. Do you plan to leak data from the NSA to the world? No. Do you plan on working against the NSA in any way? As I said before, if the NSA is focused on keeping the country safe, then my intentions are aligned with them, he replied, trying to avoid the question again. His brain was exhausted at this point. Miro wasn't sure how much longer he could do this. Do you plan on hacking the NSA? Sorry, I thought I heard an alarm on my phone for a sec. Do you plan on hacking the NSA? Miro gulped again. Direct hit. He thought, well, technically, Ultra Medico is going to hack the NSA, not me, he convinced himself. No. Are you planning on being an NSA whistleblower? No. Do you know who Edward Snowden is? Yes. Do you have respect for Edward Snowden and what he did? I have respect for his bravery, but he did bad things. Miro started with the truth and ended with a lie, hoping that his truth would cover his lie. He was starting to worry. He had lied several times already, and he knew that was just being caught once would get him locked up. Are your intentions to make the NSA better, stronger, and more effective at its goals? Yes. I want to protect the U.S. from terrorists. H. Baird says, are Peter and Neil Breen the same person? Their creative thoughts seem to go in the same direction. They do. They're kind of eerily similar. One last question. Why do you want to work for the NSA? I want to work for the NSA so that it can harness my talent and the power of my AI to make Americans safer. Miro replied partially honestly. He wasn't sure if that answer would work. All right. I'll go over your biological responses to these questions and look for lies. After talking with my superiors about the results, we'll get back to you. She replied robotically and left the room. Miro's heart finally started calming down. At least it was over, he thought. I hope I passed. After a little while, she came back into the room and led him to a wide, white, windowless waiting room. He sat there twiddling his fingers as he waited in anticipation. After an hour, a tall man with black hair, dark brown eyes walked in. His nose and eyes reminded him of an eagle. He looked like nothing got past him. I'm the director of the NSA. My name is James Drill. It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you, he said as he put his hand out to shake Miro's hand. Miro shook his hand. It's nice to meet you too. What have you heard about me? I heard you lied on our lie detection test, James said with a disappointed look on his face. Miro gulped. He started to worry about being locked up. If I got locked up, will Ultra Medico come and save me? It might, but I probably will just be too late for my brother, he thought. One sec. Follow me, James said. They walked down several halls. They finally got to a big elevator, and after entering, James put his NSA ID into a slot in the elevator. It took them down 3 more floors. After it had opened, Miro knew he had arrived where he wanted to arrive. Its clothes had been built to wirelessly hack into the network, and it also had a USB port in case that didn't work. Miro wondered if Ultra Medico had already hacked into the agency just by him being present in the room. You better not try to hack into anything here, James said as he was leading to his office. It was a spacious office at the front of the giant room. It had a huge desk that looked over the entire department. He could see hundreds of large computer screens in the room, with dozens of people working on them behind desks. On the right side, he could see 20 large screens had been combined to create one big screen which displayed the world map, and what Miro recognized was signals of people actively trying to hack into the NSA from around the world. If they weren't able to do it all of this time, will I be able to? He wondered. Sit, James said as he pointed to the chair in front of his desk. Miro sat down. He started sweating profusely. I wonder how many lies they caught, he thought as he clutched the leather armrest in nervousness. Let me cut to the chase. I know you lied. I'm sorry, Miro replied. The report says you lied on the question about Snowden. Be honest with me. Do you respect Snowden? I do. Did you know that Snowden was paid by China or Russia to steal data from us? No, I didn't know that. Do you respect him now? No. Miro lied. Look, I don't need lie detection to tell if you're lying. Miro gulped. I know that you're lying. Do I need to hook you up to the detector again? James's eagle eyes pierced through Miro's nervous body language. He realized this and removed his nervous hand from his armrest to look calmer. Miro didn't answer. If I lie to him again, he'll catch me. What do I do? Miro thought to himself. He's going to lock me up. He caught me lying. Look, I don't care what you think about Snowden, but I won't hire if you plan to steal our data and release it to other countries. Is that your plan? Why did you even come here? You're wanted by the police for fleeing your home when you were under house arrest. Look, I'm no Snowden. I don't know enough about him, obviously. I just heard good things. I'm not here to spy on the NSA. I'm aware of the fact that China and Russia are trying to hack into this place on a daily basis. I built an AI program. It can protect and strengthen the NSA beyond your wildest expectations. Miro replied confidently. James got up from his chair, leaned against his desk, and put his hands up to his chin in a thinking manner. He rubbed his chin as he stared up at the ceiling, as his mind was in deep thought. After 5 minutes, he finally responded. Do you have the AI program with you now? Can you show it to me? James asked. Miro hesitated. His jacket contained a device where Ultramedico hid. He was supposed to sneak the program in, but he decided to take a risk. I can install it on your system here. I can show you how it runs, Miro replied. Sure. Come with me. Let's install it on a computer over here, James said as he pointed to a computer outside of his office, and he walked towards it while motioning Miro to follow. Install it here. James pointed at a collection of 12 desktop computers. Could it really be this easy, Miro thought? Okay, he said, and pulled out a USB cord out of his jacket and plugged it into the computer. It will take a day to transfer. Your jacket is the hard drive that contains it? James asked. Yep. So what's this computer? Miro asked. It's a system designed to control malignant AI programs. And your AI isn't a virus-like program that is for infiltrating and taking over our systems. Is it? James asked. Miro tried to hide his nervousness. He stopped himself from gulping this time as he knew that James would be able to read him more. No, he replied as calmly as he could. I'm in trouble. I didn't think they would contain Ultramedico. Now it won't be able to hack into everything, he thought worryingly. Well, that was stupid of him. Of course they're going to put him on a contained machine. One second. I just want to see how far we have left in this chapter. Okay, we're probably gonna quit somewhere into this chapter. We're about at 3 hours. I've been trying to do 4-hour streams, but this whole stream has been me reading constantly and doing voices, so my voice is strained, and I don't want to damage it, so I gotta quit soon. All your charges have been dropped for delivering your AI program. You've strengthened our agency and helped protect the country as you wanted. I can't hire you because you lied, but you are free to go, James said as he pointed to the room's exit. Dang, I came here to play them. All they did was steal my AI and play me. Miro tried to contain his anger. One more thing before I go. Can I see my brother? He's being held at a secret hospital. We'll pay for his cancer treatments, but you'll no longer be able to see him anymore, James answered. Why not? Miro asked. You're a drug abuser. I don't want him to turn into a drug abuser, too. You would just give him illegal drugs. You're a bad influence, James answered in a condescending tone. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Nope, that's not what I wanted. H-Baird says, speaking of, good job on the voice training. The other day, YouTube started playing one of yours and Jake's old movie reviews, and I didn't recognize you speaking at first. Thank you. Fair warning, Hannah, next chapter we have Spanish. Are you kidding me? That was medicine! Miro spoke angrily. Leave now, James said sternly, before I throw you into the jail where you belong, he continued threateningly. Miro marched out of the room without his jacket. Then he was escorted up the elevator, down some halls, and out of the building. He walked outside. Sorry, I'm getting notifications from a friend who's messaging me about a computer question. Miro marched out of the room without his jacket. Then he was escorted up the elevator, down some halls, and out of the building. He walked outside with his blood boiling. His plan had failed. It didn't go as he had planned. First, he had failed the lie detector test. Then he got called out as a liar. Next, they stole Ultra Medico. And finally, he had been denied access to his brother. Can you guys hear those notifications as I'm getting them? Just curious. Sorry. I think she's done. She asked me if I could send her the movie Spice World, which is the Spice Girls movie, if you've not seen it. So it's very important. We're going to be done in a sec anyway, because my voice is killing me. Miro marched out of the room without his jacket. Then he was escorted up the elevator, down some halls, and out of the building. He walked outside with his blood boiling. His plan had failed. It didn't go as he had planned. First, he had failed the lie detection test, and then he got called out as a liar. Next, they stole Ultra Medico, and finally, he had been denied access to his brother. One thing was weird, though. A self-driving car was waiting for him. He went inside and it drove him away. After 2 hours, he arrived at his hospital. There, he was greeted by Ultra Medico. That's probably a good place to stop. That's a natural-ish chapter break. Let me just save this real quick so I remember where we are next time. Cliffhanger! So, based on the rate at which we're reading this, the third episode should be the last episode. So we will have one more episode of Peter, probably next week, probably also on Wednesday, and then we'll be done with this particular book of Peter's. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Willow is streaming, so is Jack. We will raid Jack. Alright. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Tomorrow I'll be streaming prior to D&D, so I will see you sometime earlier in the day. Maybe we'll just do Public Domania, some old game shows or weird public domain shit. So, have a good night, everyone. You're all wonderful. Thanks for hanging out and listening to me do my weird voices. This has also been double duty. I count this a little bit as voice training for me, too, because it helps me control certain aspects of my voice, so that's nice. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow or whenever I see ya. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.